Hello everyone, Rich here. In this video I'm going to show you how to customize fonts on a per website basis. Now as you know, in Firefox and pretty much every other browser, in order to increase the font size, it's Control plus. Control plus, see that? And to decrease font size is Control minus, like that. To reset, Control 0, bringing it back to original. But this only affects the size. What if you wanted to change the font just on Facebook, for example? Well, we can do that with an extension for Firefox called Stylish. If I go to Google and search for Firefox Stylish, you'll see it comes up even before I'm finished typing. And Stylish add-ons for Firefox. That's what it looks like. You can tell because it's got the nice colorful logo with the big S. Now, when you install this by default, it will put a stylish icon way at the bottom over here. And it's ordinarily white because it has not been enabled for this website yet. So let me just drag this up a little bit. Now, by the way, if you don't see this bar, you can do, let's see, Firefox options, yeah, add-on bar right here. If you have this and you don't see it, you can go to Firefox and enable the add-on bar, or do Control/, which is not the backslash, by the way. It's the slash with your question mark key, so Control/ will do that. Anyway, on Facebook, let's just say I want to change the font to Arial, and I want it larger, say 12 point. So I can click this and write new style. Now I can do for this URL, which means just for this page, or for all of Facebook.com. So I want all of Facebook.com. And it brings up this window, which has a bunch of code in it that looks kind of confusing. It's not confusing. Where your cursor lands right here, after Moz document and before the end brace, type a star, which is asterisk shift 8, a space, a left brace, which is not a bracket, that's a brace, it's a shift bracket. And then I will do the two following CSS rules. I will specify what font I want and what size I want. So to specify the font I want, it's font-family, and it must be typed exactly as such, colon, Arial, and then end that with a semicolon, and then a space. Now I've specified my font, now I want to specify the size. Font-size, colon, and I wanted this to be 10 point, which is because the font size on Facebook is 8 point by default, so we'll do 10 pt for 10 point, and then a semicolon, and then a right brace. So to recover, the asterisk means every font, and I want it to be in Arial, which is a font-family. And then I want the size to be 10 point. And if I do, I'm going to move this over here so you can see if I do a preview, it immediately changed all the fonts to a font family of Arial and a minimum font size of 10 point. You'll notice for larger fonts, it still retains Arial. That's cool. Now let's just say I wanted to change it to something else, like typewriter style font, like Courier New. So I'll do the font family as Courier New and preview that. Now everything is in that typewriter Courier New type font. And then when I'm happy with what I have, I'll do Arial and do a font size of 12 point. So now it looks like this, a lot more readable. And what I'll do is you have to hit save. So I'll hit save at this point. Oh, it says give this style a name, sorry. So I'll call it Facebook and save. And let me just resize here. Okay. Now, the cool part about this is that that style that we just created is only for this site, only for Facebook. Anywhere else I go, it will not apply. Now, you'll also notice at the bottom here that the stylish icon is now colored, meaning it is enabled for this particular site. Now, if I go to, say, I'll open up another tab and go to Google, you'll notice that it's kind of grayed out, whitish again, because it's not enabled for Google, but it is enabled for Facebook. Now I'm going to do a separate style here for Google. So I'll do the same thing I did before. Click the stylish button, write new style for all of Google. Now you can, sometimes you'll see this, you'll say for www.google.com or Google.com. Well, what does that mean? What that means basically is there are some domains that say, if it was say trends.google.com or mail.google.com, that's different from www.google.com. But if you're not sure, just pick the one with the www in it. So that's what I'll do. And I'll do the same thing I did before. I want all fonts, which is the asterisk and space, a left brace, font dash family. We'll make this one Courier New, and with a semicolon, space, font dash size, colon. We'll make this one really big, 14 point. And let me just move this over here and preview. Okay, notice how the font's changed. And I will save that one as Google. And I'll do a search. So I'll search for PC Mac. And notice, let me get rid of this box here. There we go. Everything is in a Courier font. Just stretch this back down here. Now, another advantage to using Stylish is that you can enable and disable certain styles at whim. Now, notice that it is enabled because it's colorized here. I can, actually, let me bring this back up so you can see. I can turn it off if I want to. So if I click this one, for example, it goes back to normal. But if I click Google again, it goes back on. You can tell it's on or off by the color and by the check mark. So I can just disable this. And that's, now another thing is that this one is just for the Google domain. If I go back to Facebook, it's still in that Arial font, which is cool. And I could disable this one, but keep this one enabled, or disable it, or do whatever. And you can go and see all your styles by going to Manage Styles, which brings up the add-on manager. And I have 3 of them that I did here, and it shows you which ones are enabled and which ones are currently disabled. Let me just resize this again. It's a really handy utility because some websites just have really itty-bitty fonts. They really do. So if I enable Facebook here, this just makes it a whole lot easier to read, especially for those of you out there using netbooks with smaller monitors or something like that. I do recommend using Stylish because it's better than just having the increase and decrease. You can have it on a per site level. You can enable, disable at whim, as long as you know how to do the CSS rules, which I just showed you. So if I manage my styles again, and I go to Google and I edit, it brings up the same window, and I can say, well, I didn't like Courier, so I'll try Trebuchet MS and the 14 point, and this is what it would look like if I preview it. Now it looks like that. Now some people, upon seeing this, saying, oh yeah, I would love to have Google in this nice, friendlier, for lack of a better term, font. That looks pretty cool. Well, you can do it with Stylish. It's simple. And then if you don't like it, you just go back to the way it was. So anyway, Stylish for Firefox makes for making websites a lot easier to handle when it comes to certain fonts. So check it out.